in an unusual time, and this is an unusual location for tonight's program. I am at the living room in my house. Like many of you, I'm working from home to distance myself while my co-presenter Tuần also working from home. We are doing what we can to minimize the spread of COVID-19, but we always make sure to be here for you and with you. This is IFO News. Stern warning from the Deputy Prime Minister to stay home.
Also tonight, a relief package is on the way for businesses as well as people that have been affected by COVID-19.
Homeless people are among the most vulnerable group during the coronavirus outbreak. For them, staying home is not an option.
The coronavirus outbreak shows no sign of slowing down despite severe measures and population control methods put in place.
The pandemic has reached another milestone. The number of global infections has crossed way over 500,000, and shockingly, the US has become the epicenter of pandemic with the most confirmed cases of coronavirus in the world, more than 100,000 cases, which means US is officially overtaking Italy's and China's. In Vietnam, the number of cases tested positive for COVID-19 is now over 160, and strict measures to curb the spread of virus is expanding over the next 2 weeks. The Prime Minister Phục has ordered cancellations of events and meetings with more than 20 people in the next several weeks. He also required a ban of gatherings of more than 10 people outside of offices, schools, and hospitals. He's urged people to stay indoors and only go out for essentials and recommend switching to working online to help stop the spread of the disease. The Deputy Prime Minister Vũ Đức Đam has warned about the risk of COVID-19 spreading from 100 to 1,000 just about in 10 days. But he is very determined to keep the number of cases in the country under 1,000.
Thì nếu theo đúng cái logic của thế giới, thì 10 ngày sau, tức là hết ngày 31 tháng 3, thì Việt Nam có khả năng là được 1.000 ca nhiễm. Nhưng tôi xin khẳng định là Việt Nam sẽ không đạt 1.000 ca nhiễm vào ngày đó như trên thế giới.
Vietnam issues incentives to counter COVID-19 impact for those hit hard businesses and those who have been laid off or cannot work. The State Bank of Vietnam will launch a credit package worth 250 trillion Vietnamese đồng to help individuals and businesses cope with COVID-19 affection. These incentives include tax breaks, delayed tax payments, land use fees, and low interest rates. In Ho Chi Minh City, the COVID-19 epidemic has forced around 600,000 people in the city to stop working. The city would pay each of them an allowance of 1 million a month from the money allocated for the wage raise.
There are so many different groups of people have been struck by the COVID-19 outbreak. Although this is not a big issue in Vietnam, in many places around the world, right now, people experiencing homelessness are among the most vulnerable. In the United States, doctors say that the country's more than 500,000 homeless people are at higher risk of catching and dying from the virus. For them, they often sleep in abandoned buildings, shelters, or on the street nearby. With shelter-in-place order and socially distancing due to COVID-19 outbreak, homeless people have been living on edge.
The COVID-19 has killed businesses and put many people around the world in dire straits. Thousands of doctors and nurses and other medical personnel, including those at quarantine centers, are working around the clock to treat infectious patients and try to contain the spread of coronavirus. However, there are still some people show no gratitude. Last week, netizens shared images and Facebook posts of some overseas Vietnamese students denounced the conditions at quarantine center. Some of them complained and used words like, "This place is terrible," "not dare to touch anything," or "This is nothing like the review on YouTube." Celebrities like Võ Hoàng Yến or Hoàng Thùy have spoken up and condemned those students for their attitude.
I think this is a time for us to unite, not to complain. The COVID-19 crisis is like a war zone, but we are still lucky that the situation in Vietnam has not been spiraled out of control. We are grateful that we have wholehearted support from frontline doctors and nurses, and we are fortunate that people who stay in the quarantine centers are provided enough food, enough care, essential toilet products, and surgical masks every day.
I know that COVID-19 is driving incredible amount of changes for us, but we got to fight against it. As our Prime Minister has said, the next 2 weeks are going to be decisive period for Vietnam to fight against this pandemic. So the most effective way to fight against this COVID-19 is to stay at home and wash your hands frequently, at least 20 seconds. And for those who complain that staying at home is boring, you can get your creativity with us by playing TikTok and send your videos via IELTS FACE-OFF PTV7 at gmail.com. So this is IFO News. Bye.
Things you should do at home during COVID-19. Drink water. Read books.
Exercise!
Healthy diet. And sleep